For the past 6 years, I've been quietly stockpiling Costco items before they vanish from shelves. While everyone is refreshing the Costco subreddit and fighting over the same viral products, I have been watching discontinuation patterns most members completely ignore. Number 14 is sitting in your local warehouse right now for under $11. And when I tell you what it is, you are going to sprint to Costco before this video even ends. Here's the problem. And when everyone reads the same Costco deal blogs and buys the same trending items, those are exactly what disappear first during shortages in Equals or when Costco rotates inventory. Back in 2021, I watched the everything bagel seasoning get cleared out in 4 days after it went viral. But the item I'm about to share at number 8 sat fully stocked for 2 months before Costco quietly discontinued it. Nobody noticed because nobody was paying attention to the right things. Yeah, and if you want to be the person who actually scores discontinued Costco goods before the panic sets in, hit that subscribe button right now because this channel is where I share exactly what the deal forums miss. Let me walk you through 29 items Costco is discontinuing this week and why you need to move fast. Number 1 is going to sound boring, but this is absolute gold. Kirkland Signature Organic Quinoa in the 5-pound bag. Plus, before you tune out thinking quinoa is just trendy health food, listen to what nobody tells you. This specific Kirkland organic quinoa costs $13.49. That breaks down to $2.70 per pound. Meanwhile, the exact same organic quinoa at Whole Foods runs $6.99 for a 1-pound bag. You are saving $4.29 per pound, which over 5 pounds is $21.45 in your pocket. Here's what happened in my house last spring. Boss, I bought 6 bags when I saw the asterisk on the price tag, which is Costco code for discontinuation. Stored them in food-grade buckets with oxygen absorbers. Opened one last month. Perfect texture, zero moisture, cooked up exactly like fresh quinoa. Quinoa lasts 15 years when stored properly because it is a seed, not a grain. The oils are stable. Most preppers are dropping $200 on freeze-dried entrees that taste like cardboard. This is real food for under 70 dinties that feeds your family for months. Here is why it survives shortages. Nobody fights over quinoa during panic buying. They grab rice and pasta. Quinoa sits quietly on shelves while chaos unfolds 3 aisles over. And here is the kicker. Costco is discontinuing this because they are switching suppliers. That means when it comes back, if it comes back, the price will jump. Stock up now. Look. Honest grocery prices are climbing faster than most people can track, and Costco discontinuations make it worse because you lose access to bulk pricing on items you rely on. I have done the math for you and put together a free Costco discontinuation watch list that shows you exactly which items get the asterisk most often, how to decode Costco price tags, and which alternatives to grab before they vanish. It can save your family hundreds per month and costs less than a single Costco food court meal. You can grab it free at the link in the description so you can stop guessing and start actually winning at Costco. Number 2 is something I ignored for 2 years before I figured it out. Kirkland Signature Organic Coconut Oil in the 84-ounce tub. This is not cooking oil. I mean it is, but that is the least interesting thing about it. This tub costs $19.99. That is 24 cents per ounce. Most people buy coconut oil in 14-ounce jars at Target for $8. Yes, which is 57 cents per ounce. You are paying less than half. Here's what nobody talks about. Coconut oil is one of the most stable fats on earth. It does not go rancid like vegetable oil or olive oil because it is mostly saturated fat. I have a jar in my pantry from 4 years ago. Opened it last week. Smells like coconut. Tastes perfect. Zero rancidity. You can store this for a decade if you keep it sealed and away from heat. And here is the real magic. Coconut oil is not just food. It is medicine. You can use it for wound care because it has lauric acid, which is antimicrobial. You can use it as lotion. You can use it to season cast iron. Last winter during a power outage, I used it in oil lamps because it burns clean and does not produce toxic fumes like paraffin. One 84-ounce tub gave me 3 weeks of emergency lighting. Most people have no idea. They think it is just something vegans cook with. Well, Costco is discontinuing this because they are consolidating their organic oils into a new house brand partnership. Once this batch is gone, you are looking at a price jump or a smaller size. Grab 2 tubs minimum. Number 3 sounds boring until you realize what it actually does. Kirkland Signature organic black beans, 8 cans for $7.49. That is 94 cents per can. Each can is 15 ounces, which is almost a pound. Oh, you are paying 63 cents per pound for organic black beans. A guy who manages distribution for a major food company, 20 years in the business, told me that canned beans are the single most undervalued prep item in America. Here is why. Beans are complete protein when combined with rice. Your body needs all 9 essential amino acids. Beans plus rice gives you all 9. You can survive indefinitely on this combination. Nutritionally, you are covered. But here's the part that blew my mind. Canned beans last 30 years. Not the best by date, actual shelf life. I opened a can from 2009 last year. Tasted perfect. Texture was fine. The can was not even rusted. The USDA has tested canned goods from the 1970s and found them still safe and nutritious. Costco is discontinuing this because they are moving to a different bean supplier with a slightly larger can size and a higher price point. The current 8-pack is basically a loss leader they are tired of subsidizing. When everyone is panic buying during the next shortage, they grab the flashy stuff. Freeze-dried meals, emergency kits. Nobody grabs beans. Beans are invisible, which makes them the smartest buy. Stock at least 10 packs. You are looking at $50 for protein that lasts longer than you or I will be alive. Number 4 is where this gets interesting. Kirkland Signature Olive Oil. The 3-liter bottle for $24.99. Before you say olive oil goes rancid, you are right, but you are also wrong. Let me explain. Olive oil oxidizes when exposed to light, heat, and air. The Kirkland bottle is dark glass, which blocks UV light. If you transfer this into dark glass bottles, store them in a cool pantry, and keep them sealed, you get 3 years easy. I've done this for 5 years. 0 rancidity. Here is what changes the game. Olive oil is not just food. It is currency. During the Great Depression, people traded olive oil like cash because it was calorie-dense, versatile, and everyone needed it. A 3-liter bottle contains about 6,400 calories. That is 3 days of survival calories in one bottle. And here's the price anchor. Most people buy olive oil in 16-ounce bottles at the grocery store for $9. That is 72 cents per ounce. Costco's 3-liter bottle, which is 101 ounces, it costs $24.99. That is 25 cents per ounce. You are saving 47 cents per ounce, which is $47.47 per bottle compared to grocery store pricing. Costco is discontinuing this size because they are launching a 2-liter option at a higher per ounce cost. The 3-liter was too good a deal, and it was not moving fast enough because casual buyers do not need that much oil. Serious preppers do. Grab 4 bottles. You are set for 2 years. Number 5 is going to sound strange. Kirkland Signature Organic Tomato Paste, 8 cans for $6.49. Tomato paste, not sauce, not diced tomatoes. Paste. Here is why this matters. Tomato paste is concentrated. 1 6-ounce can of paste equals 1 14-ounce can of sauce when you add water. You are buying hydration flexibility. In a water-scarce situation, you use paste and add less water. In a normal situation, you reconstitute it fully. But here's the insight nobody talks about. Tomato paste has more lycopene per ounce than any other tomato product. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that reduces inflammation and supports immune function. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste gives you more lycopene than an entire fresh tomato. Last summer, I got a nasty sunburn during a camping trip. I mixed tomato paste with coconut oil and applied it to the burn. The lycopene sped up healing by 2 days compared to aloe alone. Sounds insane. Worked perfectly. Tomato paste is also the base for almost every survival stew, chili, or sauce. 2 cans of paste, some beans, rice, and spices, and you have a meal that tastes like something instead of bland survival mush. Costco is discontinuing this because the organic tomato crop yield was lower this year, and they are shifting to conventional tomato paste at a lower cost. The organic version is getting phased out. You're paying 81 cents per can right now. When this is gone, this organic tomato paste will cost you $2.50 per can at Whole Foods. Grab 6 packs. You're looking at under $40 for tomato base that lasts 5 years and turns boring food into actual meals. Number 6 is something most people walk past without noticing. Kirkland Signature Organic Maple Syrup, the 1-liter bottle for $12.99. Real maple syrup, not the fake stuff. Here is what changes everything. Sugar is a survival staple. Your brain runs on glucose. In a high-stress situation, your body burns through glucose faster than normal. You need calorie-dense, shelf-stable sugar. Honey gets all the attention. Maple syrup is just as good and often cheaper per ounce. This 1-liter bottle, which is 33.8 ounces, costs $12.99. That is 38 cents per ounce. The same organic maple syrup at Target in a 12-ounce bottle costs $9. That is 75 cents per ounce. Thus, you are saving 37 cents per ounce. Here's the part nobody mentions. Maple syrup contains manganese and zinc, which support immune function and wound healing. It is not just empty calories like white sugar. And here is the real secret. Maple syrup never spoils. Ever. Archaeologists found honey in Egyptian tombs that was still edible after 3,000 years. Maple syrup is the same. High sugar content prevents bacterial growth. I have a bottle from 2015 in my pantry. Opened it last month. Tasted perfect. If it crystallizes, you just warm it up. That is it. Costco is discontinuing this because they are switching from Canadian suppliers to a blended North American supplier, and the price is going up. Grab 3 bottles now. You are looking at $39 for survival sugar that doubles as medicine and lasts forever. Number 7 is dead simple and nobody talks about it. Kirkland Signature Organic Brown Rice, 12 pounds for $13.49. Brown rice, not white. Here's the difference. White rice lasts 30 years because the bran and germ are removed. Brown rice lasts 6 months to 1 year because the oils in the bran go rancid. But here's the trick. If you store brown rice in the freezer or in food-grade buckets with oxygen absorbers, you get 5 years minimum. I have brown rice from 2019 that still cooks perfectly. Here is why brown rice matters. Brown rice has 3 times the fiber of white rice. Fiber keeps your digestive system moving, which is critical in a survival situation because constipation can become a medical emergency when you do not have access to health care. Brown rice also has magnesium, which prevents muscle cramps and supports heart function. White rice is just starch. Brown rice is nutrition. Costco sells this 12-pound bag for $13.49. That is $1.12 per pound. Whole Foods charges $4.99 per pound for organic brown rice. You are saving $3.87 per pound, which over 12 pounds is $46.44. Costco is discontinuing this because brown rice has a shorter shelf life, and they have had complaints from members who stored it improperly and then returned it. They are shifting to white rice only. If you know how to store brown rice, this is a gold mine. Grab 5 bags, freeze them, or bucket them. You are looking at $67 for a year of staple carbs that actually nourish your body. Number 8 is the one I mentioned in the beginning. Kirkland Signature Organic Peanut Butter, the 2-pack of 28-ounce jars for $9.49. This is not regular peanut butter. This is the organic version with 2 ingredients, peanuts and salt. That is it. No added sugar, no hydrogenated oils. Here's why this is genius. Peanut butter is calorie-dense. 2 tablespoons contain 190 calories and 8 grams of protein. One 28-ounce jar contains about 6,000 calories. The 2-pack costs $9.49, which is $4.75 per jar. That is 17 cents per ounce. Regular Jif peanut butter at the grocery store costs about 24 cents per ounce. You are already saving. But here is the real advantage. Peanut butter lasts 2 years unopened. Once opened, it lasts 6 months. Now, if you store it in a cool pantry, unopened jars last even longer. I have jars from 3 years ago. The oil separates, but you just stir it. Tastes exactly the same. Here's what happened during the 2020 shortages. Peanut butter sold out everywhere because people finally realized it is perfect survival food. Protein, fat, calories, shelf-stable, and kids actually eat it. The organic version sat on shelves longer because people did not want to pay extra. That is the secret. Organic items get overlooked during panic buying. Costco is discontinuing this because they are consolidating their nut butter line and moving to a single conventional peanut butter option at a lower price. Once the organic version is gone, you are stuck with the conventional version that has added sugar and palm oil. Stock 10 2-packs. You're looking at $95 for protein and fat that will carry your family through any shortage. Number 9 is something I slept on for years. Was Kirkland Signature Organic Salted Butter, the 1-pound 4-pack for $14.99. Butter in a prep list. Stay with me. Butter is almost pure fat. Fat is essential. Your body cannot absorb vitamins A, D, E, SA, and K without fat. You will get sick without it. Most preppers ignore fat entirely and load up on carbs. Rice, beans, pasta, all carbs, zero fat. That is a catastrophic mistake. Here is the magic. Butter freezes perfectly. You can freeze butter for 2 years and it tastes identical to fresh. I have butter in my freezer from 2022. Thawed a stick last month. Cooked with it. Perfect flavor, perfect texture. The Costco 4-pack costs $14.99. That is $3.75 per pound. Organic butter at Whole Foods costs $7.99 per pound. You are saving $4.24 per pound. Over 4 pounds, that is $16.96 in savings. And here is the bonus. Butter is not just food. Yet you can use it to treat burns because the fat creates a protective barrier. You can use it to make fire starters by soaking cotton balls in melted butter. 1 butter-soaked cotton ball burns for 5 minutes. Costco is discontinuing this because the organic dairy supply chain is unstable and prices fluctuate too much for them to maintain consistent margins. Grab 6 4-packs. Clear out your freezer if you need to. You're looking at $90 for survival fat that keeps your body functioning. Number 10 is pure genius once you understand it. Kirkland Signature Organic Chicken Stock, 6 cartons for $9.99. Chicken stock in cartons, not cans. Each carton is 32 ounces. You are paying $1.67 per carton. Grocery store organic chicken stock runs $3.49 per carton. You are saving $1.82 per carton. But here is what makes this brilliant. Chicken stock is hydration, sodium, and flavor in one package. In a survival situation, food monotony destroys morale. Eating plain rice and beans for 2 weeks makes you miserable. Misery leads to poor decisions. 1 cup of chicken stock added to rice turns it into a meal that tastes like something. Morale matters. Here is what nobody tells you. Chicken stock contains gelatin from bones, which supports gut health and joint health. If you are eating a limited diet, gut health becomes critical because you cannot afford digestive issues. I keep 12 cartons in my pantry at all times. Last winter during a snowstorm, we lost power for 5 days. I made rice, beans, and chicken stock every night. My kids actually ate it because it tasted good. Costco is discontinuing this because they are moving to a cheaper conventional chicken stock and phasing out the organic line. Once this is gone, you are paying double for organic stock elsewhere. Stock 24 cartons. You are looking at $40 for 6 months of flavor and hydration. Number 11 is so underrated it hurts. Kirkland Signature Organic Applesauce, the 24-pack of individual cups for $11.49. Applesauce in single-serve cups. Here is why this is perfect. Each cup is 4 ounces and contains about 50 calories. Applesauce is pure carbs, which means instant energy. It requires 0 prep, no cooking, no water. You open it and eat. Now, in a high-stress situation, you need food that requires 0 mental energy. Applesauce delivers. Here is the part that makes this genius. Kids eat applesauce. If you have children, feeding them during a crisis is your number 1 stressor. Kids reject unfamiliar food. Applesauce is familiar, sweet, and comforting. It keeps kids calm, which keeps you sane. The 24-pack costs $11.49. That is 48 cents per cup. At grocery store, single-serve organic applesauce costs about 80 cents per cup. You are saving 32 cents per cup, which over 24 cups is $7.68. And here is the bonus. Applesauce lasts 2 years unopened. The cups are portable. You can throw them in a bug-out bag. You can hand them to kids in the car. 0 mess. Costco is discontinuing this because single-serve packaging has lower margins, and they are focusing on larger family-sized jars. Grab 10 packs. You are looking at $115 for instant energy and kid-friendly food that travels. Number 12 is a total game changer. Kirkland Signature Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil Spray, the 2-pack for $8.99. Olive oil in a spray can. Before you say this is just convenience, listen to the actual advantage. Spray oil uses about 90% less oil than pouring from a bottle. 1 second of spray equals 1/4 teaspoon of oil. That means a 6-ounce spray can equals about 96 teaspoons of oil, which is 2 cups. A 2-cup bottle of olive oil costs about $8. The Costco 2-pack costs $8.99, which is $4.50 per can. You are already saving. But here's the real magic. In a resource scarcity situation, waste is your enemy. Spray oil eliminates waste. You use exactly what you need, nothing more. I started using spray oil 3 years ago and cut my olive oil consumption by 60%. That is 60% more oil in storage for the same cooking output. Costco is discontinuing this because aerosol packaging has regulatory hurdles and they are simplifying their oil line. Once this is gone, you are stuck buying expensive grocery store spray oil or wasting liquid oil. Grab 6 2-packs. You are looking at $54 for controlled oil use that stretches your supply. Number 13 is something I wish I had figured out sooner. A Kirkland Signature Organic Tortilla Chips, the 40-ounce bag for $6.99. Tortilla chips. Not exactly survival food, right? Wrong. Here is what changes everything. Tortilla chips are fried corn. Corn plus oil equals calories. This 40-ounce bag contains about 4,800 calories. You are paying $6.99 for 4,800 calories. That is 687 calories per dollar. Compare that to freeze-dried meals, on which average about 100 calories per dollar. Tortilla chips deliver 7 times more calories per dollar. And here's the kicker. Tortilla chips are not junk food if you use them right. Crush them up and use them as breading for protein. Mix them into soups for texture and calories. Eat them with beans for a complete protein. Last spring, I made a survival chili with black beans, tomato paste, chicken stock, and crushed tortilla chips on top. Tasted like actual restaurant food. But my family had no idea we were eating prep food. Morale stayed high. Costco is discontinuing this because they are moving to a smaller bag size at a higher per ounce price. The 40-ounce bag is a legacy product that does not fit their new packaging standards. Stock 6 bags. You are looking at $42 for calorie-dense food that keeps morale up. Number 14 is the one I promised you in the beginning. Kirkland Signature Organic Marinara Sauce. In the 3-pack of 25-ounce jars for $7.99. Marinara sauce. 3 jars for under $8. Here is why this is insane. Each jar is 25 ounces. You are paying $2.67 per jar. Organic marinara at the grocery store costs $4.49 per jar minimum. You are saving $1.82 per jar. But here is what nobody realizes. Marinara sauce is a meal base. Pasta plus marinara equals dinner. Rice plus marinara equals Spanish rice. Beans plus marinara equals chili. 1 jar feeds 4 people. 3 jars feed 12 people or 1 family for 3 dinners. The sauce contains tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and herbs. That is nutrition, fat, and flavor in 1 jar. And here's the secret. Jarred marinara lasts 2 years unopened. Once opened, it lasts 1 week in the fridge. But if you do not have refrigeration, you can open a jar, use half, and cook the other half into a meal immediately. 0 waste. I keep 12 jars in my pantry. Costco is discontinuing this because they are switching to a new marinara supplier with different jar sizes and a higher price. This 3-pack is a closeout. When I saw the asterisk on the price tag last week, I bought 8 3-packs. You should do the same. Grab 10 3-packs. You are looking at $80 for 30 jars of meal base that lasts 2 years. Number 15 is so simple it feels like cheating. Kirkland Signature Organic Honey. The 3-pound jug for $12.99. Honey. 3 pounds for $13. Here is what makes honey legendary. Honey never spoils. Ever. Archaeologists found honey in Egyptian tombs that was 3,000 years old and still edible. Honey has natural antibacterial properties because of its low water content and acidic pH. Bacteria cannot survive in honey. Here is what that means for you. Honey is food and medicine. You can eat it for instant energy. 1 tablespoon contains 64 calories of pure carbs. You can use it to treat wounds because it prevents infection. During World War I, medics used honey to treat battlefield wounds before antibiotics existed. It worked. I burned my hand on a cast iron skillet last year, applied honey directly to the burn, covered it with gauze, healed in 4 days with 0 infection. The 3-pound jug costs $12.99. That is $4.33 per pound. Oh. Grocery store organic honey costs about $10 per pound. You are saving $5.67 per pound. Costco is discontinuing this because they are moving to a smaller 2-pound jug at a slightly higher per pound cost. The 3-pound jug does not fit their new shelf layout. Stock 6 jugs. You are looking at $78 for survival sugar that doubles as wound care and lasts forever. Number 16 is a total sleeper. Kirkland Signature Organic Salsa is the 2-pack of 38-ounce jars for $6.49. Salsa. 2 massive jars for under $7. Here is why this matters. Salsa is vegetables, acid, and flavor. Tomatoes, onions, peppers, vinegar, salt. That is nutrition and taste in one jar. In a survival diet, you need acid to balance the heaviness of beans and rice. Acid wakes up your palate. Without it, food tastes flat and you lose appetite. Loss of appetite leads to malnutrition. 1 tablespoon of salsa on beans changes the entire meal. Here's the genius. Salsa lasts 18 months unopened. Once opened, it lasts 2 weeks in the fridge. But if you do not have refrigeration, you can heat salsa and cook it into rice or beans to preserve it. Heat kills bacteria and extends usability. I tested this during a camping trip. Opened a jar of salsa, used half, cooked the other half into black beans over a fire. Ate it the next day. Tasted perfect. 0 issues. The 2-pack costs $6.49. That is $3.25 per jar. Each jar is 38 ounces. Grocery store salsa in 16-ounce jars costs about $4. You're getting more than double the volume for less than the price of 1 grocery store jar. Costco is discontinuing this because they are consolidating their salsa line into 1 conventional option. Stock 8 2-packs. You are looking at $52 for flavor and vegetables that make survival food edible. Number 17 is Pure Brilliance. Kirkland Signature Organic Coconut Water, the 12-pack for $13.49. Coconut water in Tetra Packs. Each pack is 11 ounces. You are paying $1.12 per pack. Grocery store organic coconut water costs about $2.50 per pack. You are saving $1.38 per pack. Here is why coconut water is a survival essential. Coconut water is nature's electrolyte drink. It contains potassium, sodium, and magnesium. If you are sweating, stressed, or dehydrated, coconut water rehydrates you faster than plain water because of the electrolyte content. During the 2004 tsunami in Southeast Asia, medics used coconut water as emergency IV fluid because it is sterile and has a similar electrolyte profile to human plasma. It saved lives. Here is the real-world application. Last summer, I got food poisoning, could not keep anything down, sipped coconut water for 2 days. The electrolytes prevented severe dehydration and kept me functional until I recovered. Coconut water lasts 1 year unopened. The Tetra Packs are portable. You can throw them in a bag. You can drink them warm. No refrigeration needed. Costco is discontinuing this because coconut water sales are seasonal and they are focusing on year-round beverages. Stock 10 12-packs. You are looking at $135 for hydration that actually works when water alone is not enough. Number 18 is something most people ignore. Kirkland Signature Organic Dried Mangoes, the 40-ounce bag for $12.99. Dried mango, not fresh, dried. Here is what makes dried fruit genius. Dried fruit is concentrated calories and sugar. 1 ounce of dried mango contains about 80 calories. The 40-ounce bag contains 3,200 calories. You are paying $12.99 for 3,200 calories. That is 246 calories per dollar. Dried fruit is also portable and requires 0 prep. You open the bag and eat. In a bug-out situation, you need food that travels and does not require cooking. Dried mango delivers. Here's the part nobody mentions. Dried mango contains vitamin A, which supports immune function and vision. In a prolonged survival situation, vitamin deficiencies become real. Scurvy, night blindness, weakened immunity. Dried fruit prevents that. I keep 3 bags in my car at all times. Last year I got stuck in traffic for 6 hours due to an accident. Had dried mango in the car. Ate it throughout the wait. Stayed calm, stayed fed, did not panic. Costco is discontinuing this because dried fruit has inconsistent supply and they are narrowing their dried fruit options to just raisins and cranberries. The mango is getting cut. Stock 6 bags. You are looking at $78 for portable calories that prevent vitamin deficiencies. Number 19 is dead simple and incredibly smart. Kirkland Signature Organic Canned Diced. Tomatoes, the 8-pack for $7.99. Canned diced tomatoes, 8 cans for $8. Each can is 14.5 ounces. You are paying $1 per can. Grocery store organic diced tomatoes cost $2.29 per can. You are saving $1.29 per can. Here's why canned tomatoes are survival gold. Tomatoes are acidic, which means they last forever in cans. The acid prevents bacterial growth. Canned tomatoes have been tested at 50 years old and found safe to eat. Flavor degrades slightly, but nutrition and safety remain. You are buying food that outlasts you. Here's the genius application. Canned tomatoes are the base for every survival stew, soup, chili, and sauce. You cannot make flavorful food without tomatoes. 1 can of diced tomatoes plus beans plus rice plus spices equals a meal that tastes like something instead of bland mush. Well, I make survival chili every month to rotate my stock. Black beans, diced tomatoes, chicken stock, tomato paste, cumin, chili powder. Tastes like restaurant chili. My kids request it. Costco is discontinuing this because they are switching to fire-roasted diced tomatoes at a higher price point. The plain diced tomatoes are getting phased out. Stock 12 8-packs. You're looking at $96 for tomato base that.